What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Church Boy V, back with another video. Today we're gonna check out chicken sandwiches that are fake. Don't eat these chicken sandwiches. And I'm praying. And most of all this on here, that Popeyes chicken sandwich ain't on here. And chicken sandwich from, I don't eat this chicken sandwich, but rarely I do, from Wendy's. I really don't eat chicken sandwiches from fast food restaurants or Whataburger. They got chicken strip sandwich, them three places. But let's see, because I love these videos. This is part one. I will do part two probably next week. But let's expose these companies and their betrayal, deception.
In most cases, it is worse. More additives, more sodium, more processing, steps the burger never goes through. More ingredients that have been quietly flagged, restricted, or out.
And before, I already know Chick-fil-A on here because I see constantly they have like 19 ingredients for their chicken sandwich. Most probably McDonald's, because a lot of their food is terrible.
Banned in other countries while remaining completely legal here. 10 brands you need to stop ordering. 3 that actually handle chicken the way you assumed all of them did, starting with the one that will surprise you most. Brand 1, Chick-fil-A Classic Chicken. Sandwich nobody questions. Chick-fil-A, that is the problem. The closed Sundays. The pleasure responses. The staff that seems genuinely happy to see you. Chick-fil-A built something most fast food brands never achieved. They made you feel like you were eating somewhere that actually cared. Then you read the ingredient list. The classic chicken sandwich contains over 60 ingredients. 60 for a piece of chicken between 2 buns. The chicken itself is pressure cooked in refined peanut oil. Peanut oil is one of the most allergenic substances in the food supply. Families ordering for young children with undiagnosed allergies are doing so at a chain that fries everything in the same oil and does not make that warning prominent enough to catch before you order. The breading system is where it gets worse. Sodium aluminum phosphate, MSG, and dimethylpolysiloxane, an anti-foaming silicone compound added directly to the frying oil. Dimethylpolysiloxane is the same base compound found in silly putty. It is FDA approved at low levels. It is also in every batch of oil your sandwich was cooked in. The brand that closes on Sundays for values reasons uses a silicone additive in the fryer every other day of the week. Parents feeding this to their children every week because it feels like the trustworthy option deserve to know what trustworthy actually looks like on an ingredient label. This is not it. The sandwich looks clean. The restaurant feels clean. The label tells a different story entirely. 60 ingredients is not a chicken sandwich. It is a chemistry project shaped like one. If this is the first time you are seeing the ingredient count on a Chick-fil-A sandwich, you are not alone. Most people never look. That is exactly what the brand counts on. Next one is the sandwich millions of grandparents buy their grandchildren every single week. Brand 2, McDonald's McChicken. It is the affordable one, the one that has been on the dollar menu in some form for decades. The one grandparents order when they take the grandkids out and want everyone to be happy without spending much. The McChicken has been in American fast food culture so long, it feels like furniture. Familiar, harmless, just there. The patty is made from mechanically separated chicken. Most people do not know what that means. Mechanically separated chicken is what happens after the breast. Meat, thigh meat, and drumstick meat have already been removed from the carcass. What remains gets forced through a high-pressure sieve. The bones are filtered out. What comes through the other side is a pale, protein-rich paste. That paste is then seasoned, shaped, and cooked into a patty. The FDA requires this to be disclosed on the label. McDonald's discloses it. It appears in the ingredient list in plain English. The problem is not the disclosure. The problem is that nobody reads it. And the people most likely to be eating McChickens regularly, seniors on fixed incomes and families stretching a grocery budget, are also the people least likely to know that mechanically separated chicken exists as a category. Think about the last time someone you care about ordered this for a child. Handed it over in that paper wrapper. Watch them eat it happily. That is the image that stays with you after you learn what the patty is actually made from. Subscribe. We go through one of these every single week, and the findings do not get less surprising. A paste shaped into a circle is not a chicken sandwich. It is the floor of a chicken processing facility, pressed into a bun. The next brand spent years marketing itself as the fresh alternative. The ingredient list did not get the memo. Brand 3, Wendy's Crispy Chicken Sandwich. Wendy's built its reputation on one promise: fresh, never frozen. The beef is never frozen, and they have said so in every ad campaign for decades. That message carried over to everything else on the menu in the public imagination. Fresh beef became shorthand for a fresher, more honest fast food chain overall. The crispy chicken sandwich is not part of that promise. The chicken contains TBHQ, tertiary butyl hydroquinone, a petroleum-derived preservative synthesized from butane, the same base chemical in lighter fluid. The FDA permits it in food at very low concentrations. The European Food Safety Authority reviewed the compound and raised concerns about potential effects on the immune system and possible genotoxicity at higher exposure levels. The EU has since moved to restrict it further. In the United States, it remains fully permitted with no additional warning required. TBHQ does not appear in fresh food. It appears in food that needs a shelf life extended beyond what the natural ingredients would allow. Its presence in the Wendy's Crispy Chicken is not a secret. It is on the label. But a brand that leads with fresh and never frozen as its core identity is also quietly using a petroleum-derived preservative in the product sitting right next to the fresh beef burger. How fresh is the brand that built everything on freshness when the chicken contains a compound the European Union is actively restricting? Wendy's has never published a response to questions about TBHQ in its chicken products. The ingredient is listed. The conversation ends there. The fresh promise applies to one protein on the menu. Everything else operates under different rules. Most people eating the crispy chicken never knew there were two different standards running in the same kitchen. Next brand spent millions telling you their chicken sandwich could go head-to-head with Chick-fil-A. The ingredient list is where that comparison falls apart. Brand 4, Burger King Royal Crispy Chicken. Burger King spent real money going after Chick-fil-A. The ads were direct. The messaging was confident. The Royal Crispy Chicken was positioned as the sandwich that could finally dethrone the king of chicken. The marketing was bold. The ingredient list was not. The Royal Crispy Chicken contains carrageenan. Most people have never heard of it. Carrageenan is a thickening and stabilizing agent derived from red seaweed. It sounds natural because technically it is. What the natural label does not tell you is that the National Organic Standards Board voted to remove carrageenan from the list of approved organic ingredients. The reason was research linking it to intestinal inflammation and damage to the gut lining. It remains fully legal in conventional food. It is simply no longer considered clean enough for the organic category. Burger King is using an ingredient that the organic food industry rejected. In a sandwich marketed to families and teenagers as a premium chicken option, the sodium content sits above 1,100 milligrams per sandwich, nearly half the daily recommended maximum before you add fries or a drink to the order. Teenagers eating this after school, families grabbing it on the way home, budget households making it a weekly meal. None of them are thinking about carrageenan or sodium ceilings. They are thinking about the price and whether it tastes good. It does taste good. That is not the argument. The argument is that tasting good and being honest about what is in the food are two different things.
That's true.
Burger King has only ever invested in one of them. Subscribe. A new investigation drops every single week. A sandwich that beats Chick-fil-A in the ads loses badly on the ingredient label. The next brand did not just beat Chick-fil-A in marketing. For about 3 weeks in 2019, it broke the entire internet. Brand 5, Popeye's Chicken Sandwich. You remember where you were when Popeyes dropped that sandwich. The lines, the sold-out signs, the Twitter war. The moment a fast food chicken sandwich became a genuine cultural event. People waited an hour in drive-thrus. Some locations ran out within days of launch. Food critics wrote about it. Late-night hosts talked about it. For a few weeks in 2019, the Popeye's chicken sandwich was the most discussed food in America. Nobody was talking about the sodium. One classic Popeye's chicken sandwich contains 1,317 milligrams of sodium. The American Heart Association recommends no more than 2,300 milligrams per day for a healthy adult. One sandwich delivers nearly 60% of that ceiling in a single meal. Before the Cajun fries, before the biscuit, before the drink, before breakfast or dinner, that same day. For the families who made this a weekly tradition after the viral moment, For the millennials who stood in that line and then kept coming back, the sodium accumulation across regular visits is not a small number. It is the kind of daily excess that cardiologists spend entire appointments trying to reverse in patients who genuinely do not know where it is coming from. The sandwich that broke the internet was also quietly breaking records for sodium content in a single fast food item. No viral tweet covered that part. Popeyes has never reformulated the sodium levels since launch. The cultural moment passed. The ingredient list stayed exactly the same. What does it say about the food media conversation around this sandwich that the ingredient label never once trended? The internet celebrated it. The cardiologists quietly noted it. Your heart is still paying the tab. Next brand has been selling you a secret recipe for 70 years. The sandwich has its own secrets. They are not herbs and spices. Brand 6, KFC, Crispy Colonel Sandwich. The Colonel, the white suit. The 11 herbs and spices that a man spent
I don't mess with KFC, even back then, because it always gave me diarrhea. It always messed with my stomach for some reason, so I don't mess with KFC. So that's one something you don't gotta worry about me eating.
years perfecting in a roadside kitchen in Corbin, Kentucky. KFC is one of the oldest fast food stories in America. Seniors grew up with it, they brought their children brought their children. The heritage is real. The trust runs genuinely deep across multiple generations. The Crispy Colonel Sandwich is not part of that heritage story. It contains TBHQ, the same petroleum-derived preservative found in the Wendy's Crispy Chicken. It contains MSG. The sodium content approaches 1,400 milligrams per sandwich, higher than the Popeyes number, that already consumed nearly 60% of the daily recommended ceiling. And the 11 herbs and spices the Colonel spent his life developing do not appear in the ingredient disclosure for this sandwich. What appears instead is a list of industrial additives his original roadside kitchen never stocked and never needed. The brand sells you the Colonel's story. The sandwich delivers a commodity product dressed in heritage. Packaging. Think about the seniors who have trusted this brand for 50 or 60 years, who associate it with family dinners and Sunday meals and something that felt like it was made with care. They are ordering the Crispy Colonel Sandwich because the name and the logo carry decades of earned goodwill. They have no reason to look at the ingredient label. They already trust the source. That trust was built by a man with a real recipe. It is being spent by a corporation with a very different set of priorities. 70 years of heritage. One ingredient list that the Colonel would not recognize. The next brand operates mostly at night. The ingredient label reads like it was written in the dark. Brand 7. Jack in the Box Cluck Sandwich.
Ooh,
Jack in the Box.
I eat those. One thing about Jack in the Box, I get them chicken sandwiches when I go. I don't eat Jack in the Box as often, to be honest. I don't eat fast food that much. I eat it sometimes, but since I've been cooking more and I eat more affordable food that be cooked. Fast food, I eat fast food once a week, or it all depends, because it all depends.
Does not have a flagship identity the way other chains do. No secret recipe. No viral moment. No generational heritage story. It is just open. Late. Always. And when it is 2 in the morning and everything else is closed, that is enough. The Cluck Sandwich contains carrageenan and dimethylpolysiloxane. Both of them, the same intestinal inflammation risk from the Burger King section. The same silicone antifoaming compound from the Chick-fil-A section. 2 additives that have now appeared across multiple brands on this list. That overlap is not a coincidence. It is what happens when every chain draws from the same commodity chicken supply system. The suppliers are often the same. The processing facilities are often the same. The additive packages travel with the product, regardless of whose logo ends up on the bag. Jack in the Box has published no animal welfare standards for its chicken sourcing. No antibiotic use policy at the product level. No farm traceability of any kind. The chicken in the Cluck Sandwich could have come from almost anywhere, and there was no system in place that would tell you otherwise. For the young adults eating this after midnight, for the West Coast families stopping in after a late event, the lack of sourcing transparency is not a minor footnote. It is the entire story of where the food came from and why nobody can answer that question. Most people eating at Jack in the Box at 2 in the morning are not thinking about carrageenan. That is precisely the window these brands operate in most comfortably. Open late, Sourcing undisclosed, additives confirmed. The next brand wraps all of this inside one of the most recognizable childhood memories in American summer culture. Brand 8.
All right, we're gonna stop at 8, but not surprised to be honest. I think I don't eat as much fast food now. I ain't gonna lie, Little Caesars, sometime Wendy's, and what else? Timmy Chan's, Whataburger, and that's about it. That's really like 4 places that I go to on a consistent basis. I go to them 4 places, but as I'm learning, I'm slowly stepping away from them places. So making progress. So it's like thank God for the information. I know how to take care of my body more, and hey, hope y'all do the same. So hope y'all enjoyed the video. Share this with somebody. Hit that like button, that share, subscribe in the comment section. Tell me which one that shocked you. God, Jesus, Holy Spirit, love you. I love you. We out, baby.